It's just people, here we are. Guess where I am? Am I in Newcastle or Spain? State of that weather. State of that weather. Lashing it down here in Spain on a little holiday. Oh, holiday in Spain for a few days, chilling out. And the weather is absolutely honking here in España. And that's a bit of a honking result, really, for Newcastle. Well, was it an expected one? Let me know in the chat what you think. Newcastle went down 2-1 to Chelsea at the Bridge. Now, we all know it's not a happy hunting ground for Newcastle. We haven't got many results there. I think it's one win in Premier League history for Newcastle at Chelsea. But today's a strange one. Listen, the game itself, 2-1. Cole Palmer, the real difference with his goal. But Nick Pope was poor. I think Nick Pope's got to do better there at his front post now. He's got to get down low and save that better. With Newcastle itself though, man, like with Chelsea today, I said 2-1, could have been 2-1 either way. And Chelsea, either a good side, they're having a good season, they're better than Maresca. Like I said, Palmer's doing well. You know, they're clicking a lot more. They're actually looking like a side now with all their signings that they've made under the Todd Bowley era. They're all doing a lot better now. But they weren't great again today. They weren't great, and I thought they were there for the taking at the back. I think defensively, the crap. Defensively, they can be exploited. But going forward, we're not at it again. Huge blow today is obviously Anthony Gordon missing the game. He can't even be involved at all. He's sitting there on the bench watching like Forrest Gump. And Gordon isn't there, so Barnes comes down the left-hand side. Isak down the middle, and Almiron on the right. The midfield three again, that's getting plenty of attention online, is Bruno, Joelinton and Tonali. For me, again, you know, Tonali's a bit quiet. I see glimpses, we see glimpses. But so far, he hasn't looked like 55 million, has he? So far, he doesn't look like a 55 million player, unless he's wearing the Italian blue. For Italy, he looks unbelievable. Even after his gambling ban, after 10 months, he's been class for Italy. You know, but for Newcastle, he hasn't quite got going yet. But neither has Newcastle, the whole team hasn't. You know, Bruno has been winding me up. He's honestly been winding me up all season, you know. I know a lot of, the majority of Newcastle players haven't got going this year, haven't performed well. But Bruno, in that captain's armband, we couldn't make a pass 5 bastard yards. It was doing my head in. Couldn't make, none of them, so not just Bruno, but everyone. Longstaff when he came on, everyone. None of them could pass the ball 5 yards. They couldn't pass the ball to each other. They couldn't find each other. What's going on? We couldn't string a pass together. Infuriating. Let's go to the team again. Lewis Hall, obviously, the young left back that did win Chelsea's Player of the Year a couple of years ago with the other full back, Tino Livramento. And Byrne Shaw. Listen, Byrne Shaw at the back. We haven't got much options, have we? I tell you what, this is match reactions all over the place. I don't know where to start, man. I'm on holiday. It's pissing down. We're getting beat again when the bottom half of the table. But let's just talk about the defence first and foremost then. Byrne Shaw in the 30s, getting blasted, getting done every single time by Chelsea's young forwards. You know, not good enough at all, man. Getting absolutely shafted every single time. Shafty McShafty shaft. I mean, it looked like we were playing a high line for the first half, didn't it? In particular, the first half, man, we are getting done. High line against Jackson, against their star players. You know, Pedro Neto was brilliant for the first hour, I thought. You know, the danger, the pace, the threat, it was all there to be seen, and he got in behind plenty of times. And for their goal, listen, it's a wonderful pass from Cole Palmer, pass of the season. But Tino loses his man quite quickly. Is that harsh? Maybe, but on Shaw as well. Shaw tries to commit. Shaw goes flying in. Shaw gets nowhere near it. He tries to wipe him out. It would be nice if he did wipe him out. He's got to do one or the other. Doesn't get either. So he gets caught out big style. And they score the goal. You know, Jackson with the tap in. It went to VAR for ages. There was plenty of VAR calls in this game. You know, that one. Their goal, Ijak's goal for Newcastle. At the end there, the penalty, which I'm glad was overturned by VAR. That's one good highlight from VAR, to be honest, is that penalty getting overturned, because that was a joke of a decision. And Kunku, the diving bastard on that one there. It's the slightest of touch from Dan Burn, who, to be honest, throughout the game did pull on their players because he was done for pace. Listen, it's expected. We've got young, bright attacking forwards, Chelsea, and you can't expect Dan Burn to get keep with them, although the positioning wasn't the best and although the fall on the man wasn't the best. That was never a pen. Pulled it back and it went to VAR, and after a long check that got overturned. But with Chelsea's opening, you know, they were obviously the better side. They were creating the chances. Newcastle just lacked belief, I thought, as well. It didn't look like we really had any confidence in getting a result there. You know, sometimes it's that small club mentality for me a bit, where we go to these grounds and we think because of how big Chelsea are, the signs they've made, the maybe recent record we've got against them doesn't bode well. And we didn't really go for it until we get the goal, to be honest with you. Or just before that we had the odd spell, but I'll tell you what, our goal was class today. That was our best goal of the season. The build-up play was brilliant, both full-backs linking up well, Tino especially bombing forward and cutting through the middle of the park, putting it on the left where it was nice work by, you know, your Joe Lintons, your Hawes on that flank, Barnes, and then teed it up on a plate for Isak, who could not miss, thankfully. And you won 1 at half-time, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I wish that was the full-time whistle, because I just don't think we've got enough. I don't think we've got enough threat. I didn't think we'd go on to win the game unless something like that could have played out where we get 1 little half chance and we take it. But we haven't been taking chances all season, to be fair. So I wasn't too optimistic of that. Chelsea come out, bang, second half, before you've even sat down and all, after the break, you know, Cole Palmer, back in the net. Listen, it's a good finish, but Pope's got to do better for me at his post. Pope has got to do better. And also, we have to do better. The lack of pressure on the ball was doing my head in the day. Not closing down, not pressing, not putting anything on them. And the freedom in the park. Oh, Cole Palmer, best number 10 in the league this year, for the last 2 years probably. Yeah, having them small balls you want, mate. Run around, do what you want. And everybody was getting too much freedom, too much time on the ball. And even after that though, might have missed out 1 or 2 things, but for me, you know, the highlight, the poor thing that we've lost out on is Isak not squaring it to Joe Linton for a tap-in. Isak, nice work down the right, takes on Sanchez, who was a bad keeper, and again Chelsea bad in defence, caught out. They were there for the taking. Defensively they were poor. Going forward, very good. You know, big dangerous threats there in the attacking third, and the midfield's pretty stable now with Enzo Caicedo. But you know, the defence looked a bit leaky, it looked a bit shaky. The keeper's a bit dodgy, didn't test him enough, and in that moment Isak takes him on. Joe Linton's screaming for it. Just square the ball please, Alex, square the ball. Isak's greedy, doesn't square it, goes for glory, loses it. Times in the game throughout that as well. I remember Harvey Barnes tries to cut in for a shot, trademark finish, doesn't do it. Joe Linton screaming out on the left. Joe Linton again, must be doing everyone in on that team bus on the way home, raging that he's not getting past to. But yeah, and then after that, you know, we'll make some subs. Willock, I thought, was all right. Longstaff comes on, gets a yellow, but that's probably taken back because of the VAR thing. Sula comes on for about 3 seconds. You know, what can you expect? And listen, I'll tell you what I'll finish off on here. How much of a disgrace and a disappointment are our benches. 3 years post-takeover, £400 million spent. And we have John Ruddy on the bench with Vladidomos. 2 goalkeepers who don't need. 2 keepers on the bench still. And then a young striker in Sula who, pointless, can't get a minute. Doesn't look ready. There we go then. 2-1 Chelsea. I could rant on, but you know, it is not worth it. Time to get another Cerveza in and enjoy this beautiful Spanish sunshine. I know it's October. Apparently it only rains 3 days in a couple of months here. And we're here right in storm season. It was lovely last week. Lovely next week. Ha! Shit like that. Brought the 2 with us. But Newcastle are in the bottom half. And then we've got Chelsea next week as well. What a big game in the Cup. Wednesday at St James's Park. So we'll sort ourselves out. Ones that we devastate and get knocked out of that. And then obviously Arsenal next Saturday in the league. Another tough test to come for the Mags and what is a big week. So Gordon get back fit. So Newcastle can start clicking a bit more, threatening a bit more, move up that table and stay in the Cup on Wednesday night. Drop your thoughts below, Peter, on what you've made of today's game. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. And I'll see you on the next one.